throwing me off a bridge like that? There was a god...
Should just leave his ass here.
So sleepy. I told him. Don't mind if I do.
What are you mumbling about now?
I was wondering when he'd show up.
You better sleep your way to salvation, my friend.
Ah, hello, Mr. Morgan.
I'm gonna make a cup of coffee. I'll be right back. I'm gonna turn it back to you. to charge this fucking cord because the fucking cable I had is not fucking long enough for some reason. Oh. Man. Fucking asshole. Where is it? Where the fuck is it? There she goes. Hey, Sprango Shalango. No, that's not more. How about this? Uh-oh. That's not good. Oh, fuck's sakes. Ah, there she goes. There she blows, my captain, my captain, my captain. This is a straight up power board now. This should fit in this. Boom. We should have lift up. Oops. GTAs, Uncharted. That's what we want in there. The only other game that gets played now.
want provender to carry? No need, says Shaffa. If we make good time, we should reach Brevard just after nightfall. Father frowns. A hard ride. Yes, but in Brevard, no one from this village will get the fine idea to come seek us out along the road and make their farewells to Demaya in a ruder fashion. It takes a moment for Demaya to understand, and then she realizes people from Palela want to kill Demaya. But that's wrong, isn't it? They can't really, can they? She thinks of all the people she knows, the teachers from creche, the other children, the old ladies at the roadhouse who used to be friends with Ma before she died. Father thinks this too. She can see that in his face. And he growls and opens his mouth to say what she's thinking. You would do something like that? But he stops before the words leave his mouth. He glances at Demaya once, and with his face full of anguish, before remembering to look away again. Here you are, Shaffa says to Demaya, holding out the blanket. It's Ma's. She stares at it, then looks at Mother, but Mother won't look back. It isn't safe to cry. Even when she pulls off Shaffa's cloak and he wraps the blanket around her instead, familiar, fusty, and scratchy and perfect. She keeps her face completely still. Shaffa's eyes flit to hers. He nods just a little in approval. Then he takes her hand and leads her toward the barn door. Mother and Father follow, but they don't say anything. Demaya doesn't say anything. She does glance at the house once, catching a glimpse of someone through a gap in the curtains before the curtains flick shut. Chalka, her big brother, taught her how to read and how to ride a donkey and how to skip rocks on a pond. He doesn't even wave goodbye. But this is not because he hates her. She sees that now. Shaffa lifts Demaya onto a horse bigger than any she's ever seen. A big glossy bay with a long neck. And then Shaffa's in the saddle behind her, tucking the blanket around her legs and shoes so she won't shave or get chilblains. And then they're away. Don't look back, Shaffa advises. It's easier that way. So she doesn't. Later, she will realize he was right about this, too. Much later, though. She will wish that she had done it anyway. Obscured. The ice white eyes, the ash blue hair, the filtering nose, the sharpened teeth, the salt split tongue. From Tablet 2, The Incomplete Truth, verse 8. least not in any great number. Denial will no longer be possible. That will leave only fear. Frightened people look for scapegoats. So you make yourself eat. This time, carefully not thinking of other times and other meals with Gigi and the kids. Controlling your fears will be better than uncontrollable vomiting, but hey, you can't choose your grief. Then, letting yourself quietly out through Lorna's garden door, you go back to your house. No one's around outside. They must all be at rest, waiting for neighbors or duty assignments. In the house, one of the store caches hidden beneath the rugs holds the family's running set. You've seen before, where the shades beat to death.
this controller's halfway charged, so I can unplug it for a little bit. I can sit back and enjoy my gameplay. Oh yeah. Yeah, we're good for a bit.
Yeah.
Help!
Yep.
Please! Anyone! Oh! Oh, Christ!
Hey, what's with the holler?
I got bit. Oh, God. Oh, I need medicine. Or a siphon.
Here,
Oh,
drink this.
Medicine? Oh, thank you, Jesus. Oh, you saved my life. I owe you.
Got that right.
I do. Now, I gotta get out of here. Oh, God. Don't much like it around here no more.
Glad I could help. Keep your eyes on the ground, huh? Wait. Okay, boy. It's all right, boy. Good job, boy. Yeah, good boy.
Been witness to stranger things.
Yeah.
Do you smoke, sir?
Sure, but perhaps not as much as you.
Oh, no, don't worry about these. Actually, take some. Take a couple of packs. Take a few.
Oh, thank you. What are all the cigarettes for? Are you heading on a long journey or something?
No, nothing like that at all. I'm just interested in the cards.
Okay.
The cigarette cards. Oh, you got any?
Yeah?
Well, get them out. Let me take a look. Come on.
A little picture card?
Yeah, I'll pay you a good price.
Okay. Here.
Nothing I haven't got. The value is in completing the set. Sometimes I'll smoke up to 200 cigarettes in one day, just so I can keep opening the packs. I wish I could explain to you the pleasure and the pain I get out of collecting these babies.
Sure. It sounds,
Thrilling? Yeah, it is. Not to mention the vast amounts of life-reaffirming cigarettes I get to smoke. Oh, And the amount of money? A veritable fortune, sir.
Fortune?
Oh, sure. A complete set of any series is worth a fortune. Yeah, look at this. Gunslingers. Over here, circus freaks. Yes. Meow meows of the desert. So rare.
I never knew.
Sure.
How much?
Well, it depends on the rarity, sir.
Of course.
Yeah. You know, if you ever get a complete set, I can take it off your hands.
You'd pay me.
A fair price. Now, you send them to me right here. Phineas T. Rambow, at your service. I gotta run. This is my train. Look me up, okay? Think about this deal. Only a...
Okay, boy.
Okay. Just come on. There. Go easy. Come on now. Easy. Easy. You'll be all right.
Get a move on.
Yeah.
Hey, ain't you heard me last time? Leave!
Yeah.
Fucking good. Shit, are you kidding me?
Hello there, pleased to see you. Clear this
Hello
right
there,
up for you.
please see you. Peace out,
Be
homie.
seeing you.
Hey there. I'll drive you wherever you need to go. What the hell is wrong? Sick in the head? I'm getting the law on this one.
You're back here. Hey, stop!
Hey, where's the law?
Hold it right there. Nothing for you to worry about.
Get out of here.
Breathe a word of this to anyone, and you'll be real sorry.
No.
You getting the message? Okay. You better have heard me. I don't forget faces,
Oh, God.
my friend. So forget mine. It's all a big misunderstanding. Don't get confused about that. I mean it. Stop right now.
You want to see
Don't
what I
you
can do?
test me.
I'm gonna knock you sideways.
Goddamn crap.
Please don't.
What are you up to, Dan?
Yeah. Take it easy there. Get! Settle down, girl. Whoa, easy. That's it! Come on, girl.
Morning.
That queasy feeling you've been having? Think that's because there's so many crystals about.
Open for business, Valentine.
Give more! Please! Prove we ain't a land of savages. Prove we're here for each other.
If you ain't got the papers, I can't give you the full price.
It is in giving that we receive the true gifts of life that are eternal. So give generously, for that is what this country needs to help each other. Let's try and help each other. It's not about survival of the fittest.
Certainly. Let's switch them out.
Unbelievable. Please be generous.
Good saddle will
Be
go a
generous.
real long way.
Help
Trust me.
people. Try to do what you can.
Incredible.
Let's make this country a brotherhood of man. So give what you can. We're in it together. We can be one.
Horses are friendlier than people. They make the most loyal friends. You can tell the difference with these additions.
We're collecting for an orphanage in Saint Denis. Please give if you can.
You must be a connoisseur.
Help people. I do all I can manage. Are you doing
I
all
think you should
can?
do it. Goes well with the saddle.
Use your use your strength to help the weak.
It's better to equip
Come
yourself
on,
and not
please.
need it than
Please,
the other way around.
somebody, be generous. Show you care. Come on, please, somebody. That is something else. Give more. Please. Prove we ain't a land of savages. Prove we're here for each other.
Do you know horses just love a lump of sugar? Just my 2 cents.
It is in giving that we receive the true gifts of life that are eternal. So give generously, for that is what this country needs to help each other.
You can't have too much with you out in the wilderness.
Let's try and help each other. It's not about survival of the fittest.
Real fine saddles here.
Please be generous. Be generous. Help people. Try to do what you can. Please give money to the orphans. Remember,
A well-groomed horse is a real sign of
to
class.
give than to receive.
Very fashionable.
Let's make this country a brotherhood of man. So give what you can.
Nothing better than a well-groomed
We're
horse.
in it together. We can be one.
Absolutely. Good decision.
We're collecting for an orphanage in Saint Denis. Please give
Great.
if you can.
Always safer to carry some around just in case, right? You never know when you'll need it.
Bye for now. Will you help? You and that horse are always welcome. Sir?
Get out the way!
Good morning, sir.
Come on, please! Please, somebody, be generous. Show you care. Come on, please, somebody.
That one ain't right with God. I know it.
Hello again.
Well.
Oh, it's, you.
Yes, it is.
I really don't need any more trouble.
I didn't come to make any. I was just protecting a lady.
Well, all behind us now, I suppose. So what is it you need? A bath, perhaps?
How'd you like some help in here?
Yeah, okay, sure.
Just relax. I'll take care of you. Let me know if I'm scrubbing too hard, okay? I'll be out of your hair in no time.
Gotta take a break sometime. Life's too short.
You're telling me.
You might be the friendliest person I've met in this town.
That's how it goes around here. See you then.
Hey, mister.
Need some?
All right, there we go. Oh, Arthur, come here. Come over here. I want you to meet our friends.
Pleased to meet you.
Well, ain't you just a tough as teak mountain man?
Oh, you be quiet, Anastasia. Anyone can tell this one is a pussy cat.
Exactly. Yes, he's a pussy cat. Ain't that so, Arthur?
Whatever you say. How much you cost, anyway?
Well, ain't that a nice way to talk to a lady?
Oh, I didn't know I was talking to a lady.
Excuse me.
Well, I must say, you got a fine way with the women, amigo.
Yeah, regular dandy and a charmer. Where's Bill?
Oh, man. I dread to think about it. Hey! There he is.
Watch where you're going. Take it easy,
Are you about to kiss that guy or punch him?
Oh, and we have our answer.
Come here, you. Let's just shoot these bastards.
Oh, come on. We can handle these fools.
Stop dancing around and fight.
I'll smash your damn face in.
greaser. Fists up. Let's go. Yeah, I hit him like I could. Hell off. Yeah, bum. That'll do it. We can deal with these fellers. Go get Javier.
Hey, tough guy.
You want some too, huh? Come on, pretty boy.
Pretty boy? You're kidding me. Pretty boy?
Go on, Tommy. Put that ape down. Come on.
You won't be so pretty when I'm...
You okay there, Arthur?
Yeah. I got this son of a bitch.
Sean, how we doing Valentine?
I hope you got more than that.
Let's go, Arthur.
Stop playing with him, Arthur.
You show 'em, Tommy.
I said this'd be fun, didn't I? Stop! Stop! Please! Please! I beg you, stop. Come, sir. You won the fight already. Surely that's enough.
What business is it of yours?
No business. No business, sir, but please, I beg you.
Making new friends again, I see, Arthur.
Look who we found sniffing about.
Josiah Trelawney.
The very same.
Well, I thought you'd gone to New York.
And miss all this glamour. You must be joking.
How are you?
Well, quite well indeed. I went to Blackwater looking for you gentlemen. You're not very popular there, it seems. Ah, Javier and Charles. I've missed you. And Bill looking as well as can be. Gentlemen, always a pleasure.
You're right. We ain't too popular in Blackwater.
We left a lot of money there.
And young Sean, it seems.
Sean, you found him.
Yes, I have. He's being held by some bounty hunters, trying to see how much money the government will pay them. I know he's in Blackwater, but there's talk of them moving.
Well, if we step foot in Blackwater... Well, then we're dead men for sure.
There'll be Pinkertons all over the place, but if he's alive, we gotta try.
Yeah, of course.
It's you they want, Dutch.
Always is. Charles, go find out what you can, carefully. Josiah, take Javier. Arthur, go get yourself cleaned up. Join them when you're ready.
Well, what about me?
Well, exactly. What about you?
What does that mean?
Oh, Bill, come on.
Everything in that is available for purchase.
Stop!
My pa got killed in this here store when I was a boy. Well, it's always here if you want to take another look. Some of the fellers who play poker down at Flat Neck Station said they had some clergymen in.
Drunk out of his mind. Sure, I'm always willing to stock up.
Yeah!
You must be up to no good.
Yeah! Yeah! Comment. Yeah, a second. I just grabbed my coffee cup. check. There's nothing in the machines. There's nothing in the machines. Trees and berries.
Hill.
Hey,
Wait a
you're
minute.
hitting the mask.
I can't
Take
prove
it
that the
off.
bank's
Let's
stealing
go.
my money, I swear. Every time I walk out of there, my ledger's lower and lower.
Risky sense of humor you got there. Damn it.
Come on. Give a fella a nickel. Give me a dime. Give me something.
You're drunk.
Just want to get a drink.
Better you than me.
I'm parched.
I feel
Give a fella a nickel.
amazed.
Howdy, sir.
Now that's what I call funny.
Do I know you?
That's a damn shame.
Excuse me, but I need some money.
Try to remember what really happened at Sylvia's Saloon back in '76.
Just a lot of bunk, Plato. It's just a lot of bunk.
It's not bunk, Mr. Calloway, sir. It's history.
Who's your friend there?
Put that in your fucking book, Plato.
This is Jim Boy Calloway. The Jim Boy Calloway.
Who?
The gunslinger. Fastest left-handed draw that ever drew breath. He once killed 14 men in a fight at Lucy Hollow.
What are you waiting for?
How do you mean?
Well, I reckon right now, kill him yourself.
I don't want to kill him. I want to deify him. He's a god. I'm trying to write his biography.
And how's that going?
I think I prefer the duel. Either I'd kill him and be able to be Baltimore's finest ever gunslinger, or he'd kill me and I could be set free from ever having to speak to him again.
Well, you're starting to understand something very important.
What's that?
The joys of gunslinging. It's win-win, freedom or glory.
That's brilliant. I'm gonna write that down, if I may.
Be my guest.
What's your name?
I don't have a name.
But you are a gunslinger.
Not really. I mean, folks who need shooting, I try and shoot in the back. All that other stuff, it's, well, bunk.
But you fought duels.
Once upon a time, I may have.
And you ain't interested in fame.
I don't think so.
Strange. But you like fortune.
I need money, sure.
Okay. Then forgive me, mister, if I seem a little desperate. I am a little desperate. This book, I've got to make a thing of it, and, well, there's a whole list of gunfighters. Legends, every last one. Emmett Granger. Flaco Hernandez. Billy Midnight. Black Bell.
Never heard of him.
Maybe you can go and speak to them about Calloway. Any of them get uppity, shoot them. I can't believe I just said that, but...
You want me to go and find some sad, deluded fools like him, ask if he was the greatest, and then if they get uppity, shoot him?
Does sound a lot worse than it did in my head.
How much you paying?
Well, a lot. Half the proceeds of the book, if you help me get it written.
I'll see what I can do.
Ha! Oh, get photos.
Okay.
And there are notes on the back of those portraits that should lead you to him.
I'll see what I can find out.
I imagine we'll be stuck here upon your return. Here or some other flop house.
Yeah! See you later!
Idiot.
This can't be happening! What's your issue here?
Hey there, mister.
You done enough harm here.
Oh, dear God. Damn way.
The hell's your problem, huh? You had a whooping coming, I hope you know.
Yep.
Giddy up now.
Let's go, girl.
Who's there?
I'm coming in.
Hope you had a good old time while I've been stuck standing here.
You know, these hides and furs can also be done up into coats and boots and such. Beyond my skills, but there's a trapper that travels around these parts, Canadian feller, Skill Tanner. He can make just about anything. You should drop in on him sometime.
Yeah, I know that. Sure, might as well make some money off it.
Thank you, Arthur.
One night when I was frisky.
Hello, good sir.
From two
Hi, Uncle.
to whiskey. Like waves on the bay of
Arthur.
Biscay.
Dutch, I need you to do me a favor. Nothing too serious. I need you to help Herr Strauss.
I've been working hard, Dutch.
I know. And I know Strauss's business is not too glamorous, but it pays. Please, son, for me.
Okay. Oh, sorry, Dutch.
The great of an elf.
Herr Morgan! Herr Morgan!
Mr. Strauss?
You busy, my friend?
Why?
I'll cut you in.
Loaning. Already?
You know how it is. People is happy to borrow off someone like me, but more enthusiastic paying back to someone like you.
Of course. Who are they?
Let me get something to eat. Got the munchies.
Was it?
Like it, yeah.
I just
looked like it.
I looked up plain font on the internet, and that's what they gave. So that's Hot Wheels. All right. So there has been an incident where somebody was mean on Twitter and then got fired. So Jessica Price is kind of the figurehead in this particular incident. A fellow coworker also got fired, presumably for So there's a report on Polygon. Other reporters are trying to picking up on it basically.
Real quick, before this one, the last time I remember a story like this was I forget his name, Adam Orth or something.
Yes,
he was the.
Because he was bad-mouthing a movie, and P.T. Anderson said, hang on, yeah, don't say that movie's bad, because that person was trying. They're trying to do something different. And when you say, movie's bad, and then that becomes the culture around this movie, it gives us less license to take chances with our movies, and to take...
Sorry, PT. Big fan, but I disagree.
Big fan. Big fan.
Big fan of all his work. I don't think he's made a bad movie. No, I don't think so.
guess you've proven me wrong.
It's easy for him, who doesn't make bad things, to say
Never
that,
criticize others.
because he doesn't even know what it feels like because he only makes good things. But some people don't care. Some people do not care, and they still make it anyway. Venom!
Welcome to Film House, everybody. This week's episode is sponsored by Mack Weldon, the world's best menswear's essentials. My name is Daniel. I've got Elise Willems, James Willems, and Josh Flanagan with me today. Hi. Super guest bud. How are you doing, Josh?
So good.
You ready to talk about some movies?
Yes, I am.
Right.
Thank you for asking. All he ever talks about.
Thank you for asking.
We're trying to get him on a different show. He refused.
It's like movies or his chronic pain.
Talking about Glass?
No,
And how my chronic pain feels like Glass?
You're a Mr. Glass.
What did you think about Glass?
I haven't seen it, but I hear it's great.
Public comments?
Yeah.
A little bit of housekeeping up front. Last week, in the past couple of weeks, we've had a few episodes of the show where there's been no little trailer videos at the bottom, and everyone wants to point out that we've forgotten it. Somehow we're all of a sudden idiots and we've forgotten to put up the trailers. But we've been getting a lot of copyright strikes or claims against videos, especially the Glass and the Spider-Man one. There seems to be no rhyme or reason to when these strikes happen. So if there's no video down at the bottom, someone decided to claim copyright on a trailer. So, yeah.
But to fix that, while you guys talk about the movies, I'm going to describe what's on screen.
Okay.
And really why
Yeah. But yeah, so we didn't forget. We're just we're trying to figure out why they're getting struck. Also, another housekeeping event. People keep saying watch Dragon Ball Super Broly.
No, they keep asking what we think about Dragon Ball Super Broly.
And
Broly.
Is that the movie that made $10 million, like at the U.S. box office? That was like top 3 of its weekend. It was crazy.
Did your brother see it?
What?
Your brother saw it.
My brother saw it. I haven't seen it.
What do you think?
Was your brother's
I haven't talked to him about it. I assume he enjoyed it. Everyone that I know who has seen it says it's great. Here's the thing, though. I don't watch Dragon Ball Super. I haven't watched Dragon Ball Super. So to go see a Dragon Ball Super movie, I'm a little hesitant because that's like you're a fan of Friends, but now they're making a movie about Joey, and I don't watch Joey. So I don't know, but I've heard it's great. I will probably watch it eventually. I got a little sour because I watched Battle of the Gods, which was not good.
What did you say? No, nothing. Something.
Josh worked on that.
But I have heard it is very good, and when I do see it, I will make sure to let every single person I've ever spoken to about it know how I felt.
All right, so enough comments about have you watched this movie. We'll let you know when we do.
I will tell you.
So yeah, look, a little bit in the news this week. It's January is pretty rough for movies, news, and films. We got a little teaser for Birds of Prey. I know everyone's super excited about Birds of Prey.
Terrible. This looks so fucking shitty.
How do you make a movie like Suicide Squad and you get essentially 3 sequels? You get this, you get Suicide Squad 2, and you get a standalone Joker movie out of such an abomination. I would love to be in the room for that.
Because I think that as bad as Suicide Squad was, people did love Margot Robbie in it.
They did. It won an Oscar.
It won an Oscar.
I mean, it made a shit ton of money.
The big thing is it made a shit ton of
Made a shit ton of money. I enjoyed her as Harley Quinn. Like I think she's just fun to watch.
I do think it's people love Margot Robbie.
When the first Suicide, I don't think she's that great of a Harley Quinn. I think she's just a likable human being. I remember when the first Suicide Squad trailer came out, and it like ended with her going like, she didn't even say like a pun or whatever. She just had a bat. She's like, "Let's go!" And then everyone's like, "Oh, it's finally Harley Quinn is real! Finally! Oh, thank God!" And I was like, this is the lowest common denominator. It's just because Margot Robbie's good.
But even isn't she basically doing an Arkham Asylum impression though? I don't know. I was never like
Well, it's just wackiness.
Yeah.
It's just she's got a drink. This is literally a screen test that they decided to put up to promote it because they know you don't give a shit. Like
they are just having drinks in the back lot at Warner.
I think Margot Robbie is great, and I think she is trying, and she probably really likes playing Harley Quinn or whatever. But
it's cool outfits, man.
It's all just the lowest common denominator shit.
Dan, do you know who's directing this movie? Like, who are the? I'd be curious to know the creative leads behind this film, because maybe there's more to it. Maybe
I do believe they've given it to a female.
That's right.
Correct?
A female woman.
Check the chromosome male. I just think releasing something like this is such a low effort. It's clearly a screen test.
Yeah.
They're clearly just seeing how some of the costumes look.
When does it come out this year? Is it 2019?
I don't know.
This is 2020. This should be
okay. So they don't have jack shit.
They don't have anything to show, but they still said, "Why don't we just show nothing?"
Kathy Young.
And that tells me how they feel, or at least how executives or Warner Brothers marketing feels about this movie, which is they're gonna eat my shit, and I don't care.
Well, I don't know who this is.
Kathy Young got me sweating. I don't know what she's done.
But I mean, the one interesting thing that I saw that someone pointed out about this trailer is that you can maybe see the difference between the male gaze from Suicide Squad and the female gaze with just the way Harley's portrayed and how she's dressed.
It's a lot of butt in Suicide Squad.
A lot of butt, a lot of
Does
dirty.
she not have butt in this?
I mean, we don't know yet.
We're in sports, bro.
And I mean, don't get me wrong. Everyone likes to look at butt.
Everyone likes to look at butt.
It's a little less trashy, a little bit more glam.
Butt is one of the most universal things. It doesn't matter your sexuality. You're into butt.
If
you're asexual, you're still like, well, I like the butt, I just don't want to fuck it.
I just feel like the male gaze is not the problem with Suicide Squad. If that's what you walk away from that movie critiquing, like you got bigger issues, I think.
All right, I've had enough of this.
We've trained Warner Brothers to know we don't care.
A little bit of news on the Dooku front.
Yeah.
I know everyone's real excited.
I know.
Is it back?
No, it's actually officially done. But the Invisible Man is greenlit with the director from Upgrade, Lee Wannell.
Okay.
I haven't seen Upgrade, but people will say it's pretty fucking rad.
That's good. Yeah, it's good. It's cool. It's
Um,
like a futuristic John Wick.
Yeah, Johnny Depp no longer involved.
Well, they said he won't be appearing in it, which I think makes sense. He still may be portraying the Invisible Man. He just won't be appearing in the film.
But so I think Universal's actually done the right thing here. Peter Kramer, Universal's president of production, says the studio is excited to take a more individualized approach for their return to the screen, shepherded by creators who have stories that they are passionate to tell. So they're going to focus on giving filmmakers that actually have a vision the ability to make these movies instead of just creating some huge universe with a studio stamp on it.
They don't want to force it.
Yeah, so
that sounds like good PR to me.
Well, and if they actually do it, I think that's probably the right way to bring these characters back.
Yeah, if there was a way that these, because don't get me wrong, like I thought the Dooku is a really fun idea. I love those universes, and I think we've talked about like Night in the Lonesome October, the Roger Zelazny book, which is kind of like taking classic characters and putting them all together, and so that kind of made me excited for the Dooku. Let me ruin that.
But they did that already. It's called Monster Squad.
I mean,
1987.
We always talk about Monster Squad about once a day here.
Let's do it again.
If there's an organic way where it seems like these movies come out and they go, hey, well, maybe there's an opportunity to mix my world and yours, I'm totally down for it still.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But all you're going to get is Invisible Man.
No Bride of Frankenstein?
I would say that like the Invisible Man may actually stand because it's not like there's every 20 years there's another Invisible Man movie.
Right.
So there probably is an interesting
There's a
take
Hollow
on
Man.
that story. I guess there was a Hollow Man. I don't know. We'll see. I whatever.
Yeah. Blumhouse, they've been on fire recently, I think. Jason Blum is attached to produce. All those other people, Depp, Bardem, Tom Cruise, Russell Crowe, yes, they have the option should a filmmaker they're interested in working with attach themselves to Bride of Frankenstein or whatever. Those guys can get back in, but it looks like it's dead.
But didn't they take all the time, too, to do a bunch of PR with all those people? Like, there's all these photo shoots with, like, all 6 or 7 of those people. Like, look at this team we've assembled for this.
But they're all photoshopped together, which is the best part. None of them were in the same room together, and Tom Cruise is like 8 feet
Yeah,
tall.
I was gonna say 6'5".
I'm 1 inch taller than Tom Cruise.
Ooh, look at you.
Yeah.
So I know our fans like us talking about the Dooku, so I figured we'd touch on that real quick.
Dooku's back, but also done. Just like classic Dooku form.
Something I'm actually really stoked for is Denis Villeneuve, however the fuck you say his name, Villeneuve, is making Dune.
Yeah.
Should come out next year, but there's a lot of casting talk. Timothée Chalamet is going to be Paul Atreides. Stellan Skarsgård is Baron Harkonnen, and Oscar Isaac is probably going to be Duke Leto. I don't know. Have any of you guys read Dune or watched?
I've never
watched
read it.
it,
I've seen
yeah.
like the David Lynch one.
Yeah, this movie's no good.
Which is not good. But I feel like I keep hearing that people think it's an impossible thing to adapt into a movie.
It's pretty tough. The book is amazing, but it's one of those stories that kind of like throws you right in the middle of a lot of political intrigue without explaining where you are and why. And it's like, like a 600-page book too. So there's too much going on for one movie. But I love that book so much. I'm very excited for this remake. And it's one of the few things in the news. So.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Tumblr's creaming themselves that Oscar Isaac is playing like Timothy Chalamet's father or whatever.
Honestly, maybe a little young if I'm going to be picky.
I think so too.
He's supposed to be this king who is old and wise, kind of a big mentor, and Oscar Isaac maybe seems a little young to be the old wise king.
Yeah, I was gonna say he was old and wise in X-Men Apocalypse.
Point against him.
I sold it.
Short.
Yeah.
It's wide shots in Apocalypse.
I feel like this Dune movie is gonna be really good. Like everyone's gonna go, holy shit, this is the best version of Dune ever, and it's gonna make no money.
Yeah. Just like Blade Runner 2049.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a really rad movie that not enough people see.
Yeah.
Because it's gonna be probably 3 hours long.
It's gonna be awesome though.
Yeah.
It's gonna be so cool.
All right, so on to maybe our major topic for the day, in addition to the news. So we want to talk about films that are wonderful, great movies that you never ever want to have to watch again for one reason or another. And maybe we can talk about commonalities as to why there's an amazing movie and you never have any interest in seeing it again. But I'll start. So I saw Silence last year. Martin Scorsese, one of the best directors of all time.
Hates the Japanese. Martin Scorsese hates the Japanese.
He does hate the Japanese, I guess. But it's a great movie. It's too long, too plotting. There's powerful filmmaking, lots of wonderful shots, really great acting, even from Garfield, who is pretty iffy, I think. But I think the themes of the movie are about your own personal religion and how much horribleness can happen to you in life and still keep that dedication, the faith. Yeah. And I think that's tough for some people, especially if you don't have faith. You might not be interested in the movie at all. But it's beautiful, and it's in feudal Japan, which is a pretty fun place to visit.
I watched this on a plane.
Oh boy!
And I mean, that may have been the best scenario because like you're trapped with it, But I really enjoyed it, and it is long, but it flew by for me. Literally,
yeah.
It flew by for me, and if some movies are long and they don't feel like epics, and that makes them seem like this movie feels long, and it also covers a long period of time and a lot of ground, and there's so many locations and new settings and new challenges and stuff. but I actually kind of really enjoyed it. I get where there's some scenes that I think that I would just like never want to see again.
Yeah, is it like graphic or?
There's a lot of brutal torture.
There's definitely some torture. I would say it's not like Passion of the Christ, where it's like, oh, I don't want to see the blood and gore. It's more like, God, they came up with the absolute worst not blood and gore way to torture someone.
Well, Scorsese's a master filmmaker, so he doesn't necessarily need the gore to get across like the horridness of the torture.
Yeah.
Yeah. And speaking to commonalities, like torture for me is like probably number one.
Yeah.
Like, I do not want to see people be tortured. Or not just your when you think of torture of like someone being tied up to a chair and tortured, but no, something like Passion of the Christ where it is torturous.
Also, probably an excellent movie.
Yeah.
But I'd never want to sit through that again. It's just gore for 2 hours.
Yeah.
But at least, what's a movie that you really love and think is excellent, but would never like to watch again?
I thought of the top one on my list I don't love, and I never want to watch again.
Would you recognize it as a good movie?
I think it's an important movie. It has some important themes, but Salo, 100 Years of Sodom.
Garbage movie.
It's a garbage movie, kind of, but it was like one of the worst viewing experiences of my life.
It's about like Sodom and Gomorrah.
It's tied to themes of like biblical themes, and it's tied to Dante's like Divine Inferno as a template of torture. But it's like these college students in Italy are abducted by these aristocrats and taken into the mountains, and like they do shit to them. It's supposed to be a metaphor for like fascism in Italy. It's just like it's a ride, and like these kids aren't allowed to poop for days, which is my personal because I always tell James, like, if I don't poop one day, like, take me to the doctor because I'm going to die. Like, it's just not possible.
After one day?
Yes, absolutely, 100%.
Huh.
I mean, yeah.
How's today going?
Well, also when they do poop, they're like forced to eat it.
Oh my god, it's just like the worst.
It's my
what
classic
movie is this?
Salo. What is it? Salo
100 Days of Sodom.
I put it on my Netflix DVD list.
It's just like 100 Days of Sodom.
You still get the DVDs?
I just restarted it.
You
what a hero.
You ever hear about something like either a book or most often cases a movie that's described as just like horrific, but you're intrigued? Like
Serbian Tale. Or not Serbian
Film.
Serbian
It's
Film.
a perfect example.
Serbian Tale sounds like Fido's going to Croatia. And
but you like read the Wikipedia article and you're like, oh my god, this must be so compelling, or like you're so interested in it, and then you're just like, oh, so this is an example of having watched it.
Yeah.
Read the Wikipedia.
Okay.
You get everything that the movie gives you, and it's faster, and you don't have to watch it. The movie is so excruciating. When you're not doing torture, it's just you yourself are being tortured. It's the worst extended dialogue sequence. Hey, Deer Hunter.
But something I like is like Sympathy for Mr. Vengeance.
That's on my list.
Yeah,
because it's an excellent film. It's fantastic. But I like Sympathy for Lady Vengeance.
It's feel good.
I will watch that many times.
It's feel good.
Yeah.
Old Boy, I don't like Old Boy as much as people like it.
Yeah.
I mean, I like Old Boy a lot, but I think that I'm going to say out of the three, Old Boy of the Revenge trilogy, Old Boy is my least favorite, still acknowledging that it is amazing.
Yeah.
But something about Sympathy for Mr. Vengeance is just so fucking, it's such a downer. It all starts from just like one bad decision that spirals out, and then it's just constant. Sometimes there's situations generally in like television dramas where if one person just spoke up and just explained it, it would all be resolved.
Yeah.
And this is the kind of thing where it's a movie that's all that over and over again, except it justifies not being able to explain it in the scenario. Like something happens, and God, it's just like watching one mistake just lead to just a domino fall of just shit.
Yeah.
And dry humping. And it's hard to watch. It's really hard to watch, but
it's excellent.
It's so good. It's so good. But yeah, like you said, Sympathy for Lady Vengeance is way more cathartic. You know, it's you feel at the end of it like you're like, oh, okay, I feel better. And Old Boy is great, but I think Old Boy is, maybe better made. But in terms of just like that narrative of it, it's just like it's so.
Yeah.
But speaking of Park Chan-wook, have you seen Little Drummer Girl?
No.
No.
I really want to watch that.
I know.
I was hoping that someone would tell me it's good.
I did see The Handmaiden, though, which was my favorite movie of like a year or two
Is
ago.
it scissoring?
The scissoring with the metal balls
Yeah.
or whatever. That you talk about a feel good ending.
Handmaiden is excellent. It has got like
It is.
3 turns in it.
It's incredible. I would stand by it. Like, it was like the best movie of 2 years ago.
And by the
it was
way,
fantastic.
he was a film critic before he ever made a movie. So suck on that, P.T. Anderson. He was calling other things shit before he showed everyone how much better he was than them.
So, Josh, are there any really great movies that you never ever want to see?
I think, the standard one that I feel like comes up a lot is Requiem for a Dream.
Yeah.
Which I've seen, I actually seen twice. I saw it in the theater. That was one of the few movies that I got to go see, like, before I was 17. Like, my mom took me to see it. She's like, you need to see this movie.
Wow.
Yeah.
That must have been traumatizing.
I
don't know your relationship with your mom, I guess.
No, it's fine. I did accidentally go with my mom once to see Eyes Wide Shut.
Oh, that's nice.
She didn't, not just us. It entirely turned into a double date because we were going to see, I was supposed to go see American Pie. They wouldn't let me go see American Pie by myself, even though she was buying the ticket. So you got to go to the movie with your mom. So me and my friend went with my mom and her date to watch Eyes Wide Shut. So
For context,
cool.
Josh's mom has seen Aquaman 3 times.
She has. If you want to know how that movie reached $1 billion, it's my mom. She was literally, I shit you not, she was in a group message today saying she was headed to Burger King because she just found out that they are giving away toys in their.
Your mom sounds pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, she's very cool. Just her movie opinions are.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with Aquaman.
I did buy her a big Aquaman fleece blanket for Christmas, though, so I feed the obsession to some degree. Here we go. Yeah. Requiem for a Dream. I was thinking of his other Pie, too, before this. Is also a great movie, but I have no desire to see it again.
Yeah.
I've only seen this once.
Yeah.
I think a lot of his movies are this way.
Yeah.
What was the Mother?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe you're better off just not watching that one.
Yeah.
I think what I think is interesting about these movies, though, is that it's not something you consciously think about. For me, what happens is I think about a movie like Requiem for a Dream, and then I suddenly realize that it's actually been like 15 years since I've seen it, and then I don't think about watching it again.
Because you got it.
Yeah.
Not that you didn't necessarily get it, but I was going to mention one. Can I mention one day?
Sure. Well, I was going to say, what comes to your mind when you think of Requiem for a Dream? Sorry to cut you off.
I mean, ass to ass.
Ass to ass.
It's
the and the
ass.
saw that arm getting
the
sawed
arm.
off.
Yeah.
The gore.
The most disturbing for that whole movie to me is that old woman's downward spiral.
That's what I was just gonna say. Like her thing, because isn't she obsessed with like a refrigerator or something? There's like
a game show or something that she thinks she's gonna get on, so then she starts taking pills to make herself skinny.
Oh god, yeah. She's just. Like you said, it's a downward spiral, so you're just seeing the constant progression of it.
In some ways, her scenario is the most like opioid epidemic in a developed country kind of thing, because they're like the other characters are all kind of like crime-y, like they're young and they're like obviously they got into it over their heads, but it's still like they commit crimes to do things, and I think as like a regular person, a middle America person or whatever, you're like, well, I'm not going to just start doing heroin, so I don't have to worry about getting my arm cut off. But she's just like a woman who's lived her whole life, and then this one thing that should have been okay sent her down this spiral of just self-destruction.
So is that the common denominator then with all these, is that they're all sort of downward spirals and they all usually have bleak endings?
I have one with a very uplifting ending.
Oh. Ready.
Because it's at the beginning.
Oh, no.
Irreversible.
Oh, God.
That's the Beyonce song?
Yes.
Yeah.
I've only listened to it once.
Irreversible. Wonderful movie.
I don't know this movie.
Irreversible.
Oh, really?
By Gaspar Noé. Monica Bellucci. You haven't seen this? You should watch this movie.
No.
This movie is...
I'll give you my DVD.
This movie is a masterpiece, except for the part at the end where it becomes really French and flashes on screen, everything beautiful must die, or whatever.
Beautiful young Monica Bellucci.
So this movie, the last scene of the movie is the first scene.
Okay.
So it's all plays out in reverse, and then every next scene is the scene that would have preceded it.
So it's like Memento.
Yes.
Similar.
Yeah.
Not.
Yeah, it is. It's like Memento. I think it's not confusing.
Yeah, the timeline's not confusing
Yeah.
at all.
But
Not out of
basically,
sequence.
the movie starts at the end with these two guys rushing into a weird sex club and murdering the fuck out of some dude.
Okay.
They just like brutally murder him.
Vincent Cassel.
Vincent
Well, it
Cassel.
actually starts
It's
off
the
with
other
two
guy.
people like having
It's
a
the other
conversation in a room nearby, and the camera doesn't stop moving. It's like a single shot,
Yeah.
and the camera's just it makes
With
you
like
sick.
police lights,
Yeah.
and then they drag some people out of a club, and then the next scene is spiraling through the club, and then the next scene is what happened in the club, and it's these two guys show up at the club, beat some dude brutally to death, and then it keeps going back and back to these guys they're two dudes looking for this guy, and goes back. Ultimately, you find out that they're looking for this guy because Vincent Cassel's girlfriend, Monica Bellucci, was just brutally raped after he got into an argument with her and she left the party alone. They were supposed to leave together.
Yeah.
Also, the other guy is also kind of in love with her, but she's brutally raped, and you like find out, oh, that's why they're chasing down this dude.
That scene is one of the hardest things I think I've ever like. You're literally
there's a point
looking away.
There's
from
a
the
point
screen.
where you see
it's one of the worst things I've ever seen in my life.
where you see they set the camera down
Okay.
and leave them there in this empty hallway.
It's like
So
a
the
tunnel.
two
It's like a
actors-
tunnel under a road.
The two actors to just do whatever they were going to do.
Okay.
Like no one was present, and there's a point where you can see the camera get set down so that way everyone can like leave and they can do their shit.
Mm-hmm.
But it's all one long shot, and it's brutal. It is brutal.
Yeah. All you can do is just think about how Vincent Cassel and Monica Bellucci are a real life power couple
Yeah.
to get you through it.
Yeah.
That's the only thing you can do.
But
listen to the Beyonce song.
But then the
Oh
worst
my
thing about
gosh.
it is after you've been through all this anguish, by nature of how the movie is structured, it ends with all the good times.
Yeah.
Right.
They're all
you know,
happy
like,
together.
it would be like a revenge thriller.
Yeah.
But told backwards.
It's like, so then it's like all the good times, and that's what you're left with at the end of it. And so knowing it is worse. And then there's also, I will say this, what makes this stand out more than some of the other ones that I had on my list is that this movie needs to be watched twice. That's what makes it so bad. And I won't say why. I can tell you guys afterwards.
Okay.
But you're supposed to watch this movie twice. And that's what makes it even worse. 'Cause It's like now you're trapped in it. But God, it's so good. It's so good.
Dan, do you have
But seriously, one of the worst things I've seen in my entire life. He also, at the beginning of that film, I think all of his films are probably like this. You probably want to see him once because they make you marvel at his filmmaking skill, but they disgust you and make you want to throw up.
Mm-hmm.
But at the beginning of Irreversible, he's playing a frequency that's hard to hear. I forget what hertz rate it is or whatever, but it's actually known to make people feel ill while the camera is kind of spinning in circles.
Huh.
So it's a real mind fuck.
Do you have one, Dan?
Wait, so see this trailer you're playing right now, and Enter the Void?
Yeah.
Guess what Netflix DVD I have right now?
Ooh.
Enter the Void.
Oh,
sitting
seen that.
Sitting in
Same
my
guy.
house right now.
Same guy.
Because I wanted to see, I saw the trailer for that Climax movie
Uh-huh.
that he did recently, and it looked so insane. I was like, I think I'll see that. And then they were like, it's the guy that did Enter the Void. I go, I haven't seen that either. So I'm doing my own backward tale.
Yeah,
and I assume it's not going to end well for me when you
It
get to
will
the
not.
beginning of my
No,
story.
he is a fascinating filmmaker, but yeah, all of his stuff is rough.
Yeah.
It's just hard to see. If I've got one, here's another one. I think there's a lot of great movies that you only want to see once, but Russian Ark, it was a film, it was shot with one shot. I think they did it a few times, but they did the whole movie with one camera moving through this Russian palace. And just as a technical achievement, it's fascinating. But
Is it supposed to be the Romanovs?
Honestly, I can't remember.
Okay.
It didn't have that much of an impact on me that I remember. I remember getting really tired of it. But the technical feat of executing this like a flawless play, essentially, was fascinating to watch once. For God's sakes, I'll never ever watch it again.
Is the movie boring? Is that like what's the flaw? It's just like really pretty, but then
it's
you're
Russian history, and it's in Russian. it's been so long. I just remember being kind of blown away by what they were doing, and then not at all taken in at the actors or the story that was going on.
So it's all that they basically took a giant Russian palace.
It's a museum now, I think,
and set up a bunch of different time periods. So like you're basically like, oh, we're going to this room. Everyone get ready, get your mark. And then they do a ballet from like the 1800s, and then it moved. Then the next room is in the 1900s. Cool concept, but yeah, I can see how. Just you're like you never stop to ask if you should.
I think, yeah. I also know nothing about Russian history essentially, so
you know everything about Russian history.
I think being completely lost in the story didn't help.
Is this Ron? I've seen Ron.
I love Kurosawa, but it's a movie. I'm glad I watched it once.
Yeah.
But I never need to see it.
The ending is great though. Like I won't spoil it, but there's great gore. There's a really great gore shot at the end of this movie.
There's another Kurosawa film called Madadayo, I think, and it was like I think one of his last films. It's really, it was good, but man, it's so fucking boring. It's just about this old teacher who is like what it's like to be in his retirement or whatever, and then at some point the bombs drop and they're like putting their lives together again. But I don't know. The only thing I really remembered it was the fact that there's a cat with testicles that he like befriends, which is something you don't see very often.
I think some movies on my list are movies I might have seen in like film school screenings. That like, yes, this is a great moment in film history, but I never at all need to revisit it.
Yeah,
it's just too dry, too hard to follow.
I did a lot of UT in Austin has a great like film library on campus, and so I used to do, like between classes I would go and like rent a DVD of whatever and check it out. So I ended up watching like Seventh Seal or something and like all like stuff like that, like just random movies. Like, oh, this is on the AFI Top 100, and I would just like burn through them all. And so yeah, you end up watching a lot of like one-time things. Like, yeah, I appreciate the crap of this. I'll never watch this again.
I think it's like the Criterion Collection conundrum, where you're like, oh, man, Criterion Collection has curated all these films. They're supposed to be just amazing gems. None of them seem interesting to me. Like, it's like
you don't like French New Wave?
You know, here and there. But I think Salo was part of that Criterion Collection, and we didn't see how that worked out. I have one movie that, like, I guess most people find it reviling and tough to watch, but I actually don't. And it's Melancholia.
Yeah.
You have a hard time watching it.
Yeah.
See, for me, I could watch that 100 times.
Because you have depression.
Because it's because if you have ever experienced depression, you just relate to it more. You just can kind of, it's like reading between the lines. You see the Matrix, and you're like, oh yeah, I identify with this.
Yeah.
This isn't hard for me to watch. It's just an externalization.
I've never understood depression better than watching this movie.
Yeah. What's going on here?
So it's a two-part. It's like,
this is your favorite movie, at least.
It's not my favorite movie. I just say I could watch it, and it does not faze me. She's getting married.
So this is the inverse of our subject.
She's getting married to a Skarsgård, I believe.
Yeah.
But then, kind of just like on the eve of her wedding, she's like, nah.
Well, it's like the most beautiful. It's supposed to be the best day of her life.
Yeah.
Her whole family's here. She's in a magical
exorbitant
thing.
ceremony.
It's just amazing. And she seems to have a
she's got it all.
Husband or whatever. And then at a certain point, she just like walks away, and she's just fucking miserable.
Yeah.
And then her sister's like, "What is your problem? Like, we've done all this for you. What is your problem? Why are you being this way?" And then the like husband's like, "Can we bang?" Like, it like transforms from this beautiful day into the harsh,
like,
sad
as
truth.
Perfect as everything is, she can't understand why she's still sad.
Yeah. And so the scenes where she's happy, you're gonna have to cut that. The scenes where she's happy, it's like really fake and stuff.
But there's also a world-ending event that's going to occur.
Right. I would say then the second half of the movie is that fast forward, and like there's a comet that's headed towards Earth. It's like two completely separate movies.
Yeah.
There's a comet that's headed towards Earth, and everyone is flipping their shit, but she's like, cool as a cucumber.
Yeah.
She's like, hey man, that's what happens.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes a comet blows into Earth. And it's really interesting to see how her depression affects like the joy of humanity, and then also the suffering of humanity. And she's the same.
Yeah.
but I was like watching it and I was like, God, this movie just must be like what it's like to be depressed. And I was reading about it, and it was Lars von Trier was dealing with this depression, so he wrote a movie about it.
So what is it that brings you back to that movie?
I mean, it's beautiful. Visually, it's beautiful. But I think it's just like, it's relating, you know? If you can watch that.
Is that what brings you back to Lee?
Yeah, I think if you can look at that and go, this is an externalization. I never finished this movie.
Yeah, I like this. I don't know why this is on
the
list.
coward Robert Ford. And
Yeah,
it's like
3 hours long. Yeah, it's too
coward,
long. But it looks beautiful because it's Roger Deakins. Yeah. So
he's the
it looks beautiful.
But I think there's a commonality between a lot of these great films that I never want to see again, and some of it's when they're 3-4 hours long. It's just too much.
Yeah,
too much.
Well, I have one that's short.
Yeah,
The Orphanage.
El Orfanato?
El Orfanato, you're right.
Well, because The Orphanage is a different movie that people confuse with. I remember once recommending El Orfanato to someone. They went and rented The Orphanage, like an American movie, and then were like, that wasn't that good.
Are you sure it wasn't The Orphan?
Oh, The Orphan's great.
I don't know.
With their fake teeth and yeah, so good.
Yeah, this is a tough one.
The Orphanage is tough just because it's a horror movie that's even scarier once you get to the end.
Right. It's built on a twist, and when you know the twist, it's like
you're like, all right, well, it's hard for me to watch the rest of this movie because I know watch the movie ever again.
It's a depressing twist.
Knowing the twist,
yeah.
It's not scary. It's just sad.
Oh, yeah, it's still a good movie.
And I also watched this with my roommate Jake over a Christmas break where we were staying in LA for Christmas, and all of our roommates were gone, so it was just me and him. So we decided to go see this movie. We came back really late at night, and the door was ajar.
Oh no!
The door was ajar, and one of the lights was on, and we were like, "Oh shit! Like, did someone break in?" And we pushed. And this was after we had seen this movie where there's a scary kid with a sack mask, and then so we like pushed the door, and neither of us stepped actually into that house, and then that's when we realized one of our roommates had come back early and left the door slightly ajar.
Oh, I think I know that roommate.
Yeah, you do.
She's the kind of person that would leave the door open. So yeah, if you're really freaked out after watching El Orfanato and need to change your underwear, throw those out. Get yourself some Mack Weldons. They make the best in the game. Mack Weldon is a modern men's essentials brand that believes in premium fabrics, smart design, and simple shopping. Mack Weldon makes men's essentials elevated by technical innovation. Your Mack Weldons will be the most comfortable underwear, socks, shirts, undershirts, and sweats that you will ever wear. I know I treasure my Mack days. These essentials are designed for daily wear, and they don't just look good, they perform well too. You can wear them on weekends when you walk your dog, or to work when you're paying the bills. They are perfect around the house or outdoors, and especially at the gym while you're working on your fitness. Mack Weldon has a premium silver line of underwear, shirts, and socks that are naturally antimicrobial, which means they eliminate odor, keeping you fresher for longer. You can do your yoga or your squats, and your gear will stay stink-free. Mack Weldon is so confident you will love their products, they feature a try-on guarantee. If you don't like your first pair of underwear, you can keep it and still receive a full refund. They also offer free shipping on all orders over $50, and they always have free returns. So go to MackWeldon.com and get 20% off your entire first order using promo code FilmHouse20. That's promo code FilmHouse20 at MackWeldon.com. So, let's talk about some more horrible movies we never want to watch again. Or actually great movies that we never want to watch again.
Yeah.
We've been burning through them.
I'm peeking at your list here. My Girl. Oh man, I love using that as a verb at people. Like when it's like a threat to put bees in their desk. Like I'm gonna fucking My Girl you. It's awful. Yeah, it works well. It's a fine movie.
Do they back down?
They always do. I will say this. My Girl this is totally unrelated to anything, but My Girl was the first movie where, as a kid, I realized that actors look different in real life than they look in movies. Because I remember I was like in love with that girl. I thought she was the most beautiful girl ever. I was like, I don't know, 8. And then I saw her on an interview, and she looked totally different. I'm like, that's not my girl.
Oh, and that's when you knew that women that wear makeup deceive you.
Yeah, it was a trick. It's all a trick.
Oh. And then you had that South Korean wife, and you had kids, and they were all ugly, and it turned out she had plastic surgery, and so you sued her.
Mm-hmm. Right. Have you read my book? Are you referencing something that's going way over
My Girl has like a sad moment, but I don't know. This just falls into the category of just like rewatchable, but you just turn it off before the end.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Like
it is
there's
very
certain movies
rewatchable.
that aren't like I can't stand to sit through this again by nature of the film, and then other movies that are like, oh, don't you hate that like part at the end where it's bad or whatever? Like think about like Radio Flyer.
Oh yeah, Radio Flyer is great.
They're like it's a fun movie, but at the very end you're like waiting for the moment where the abusive dad's gonna come in and they're trying to get the thing to go and then he launched away and they never saw my younger brother again. It's like he crashed, he's dead. So there's certain movies that I'm like I really enjoy watching, but I just don't want to stick around for the last act or whatever it may be.
Do you think there's going to be a trend change though? Because I feel like some of these movies, like people watched because your choices were so limited growing up, or like they were on TV, or this is what was in theaters, and now it's a free for all. You can watch whatever you want. So like you can, I know like Netflix, like CEOs done interviews about like how do you get people to watch better stuff and not just junk feed, like how they curate your feed and things like that. And I don't know, do you feel like people are going to be like these movies that people barely watch anyway are going to like slide even further back as like
Probably.
More cooking shows pop
Well,
up?
There's always a spot in the carousel for the critically acclaimed.
Yeah.
And that's where these, I feel like they hang out. I just thought of a movie that I saw. It's not on this list, and it's relevant. It's so fucking good. I haven't seen it again because it was made me so stressed. Whiplash.
Oh, Whiplash is
Whiplash
amazing.
is so good.
Oh yeah.
I loved it. I love J.K. Simmons. Not my J.K. Simmons. Not my tempo. This is not my tempo. He's not my tempo in this movie. He is too mean.
Oscar-winning performance.
Not my tempo, but it's so good. I just can't.
Why would you can't?
It's stressful.
Yeah.
It's an anxiety, pill in the form, or not pill, but anxiety crisis in the form of a movie. Like just when the way J.K. Simmons is abusing him, and you're watching it, and you're like,
Yeah. I was cleaning my house when I threw this movie in, and within like 10 minutes I had stopped and was just glued to my couch for the rest of the runtime. Like you're just it just
Nadia loved that.
Nadia wasn't there.
Have you seen it since?
No.
I only saw the one.
Supporting your theory.
It's just hard. Oh, so oh no.
Is it because you like J.K. Simmons and you don't like seeing him be so awful?
He was already awful to Spider-Man. Why is this kid any different?
Hold on, guys. He was awful to the older brother from the television version of Weird Science in Oz.
Oh, yeah.
So
Yeah.
Spider-Man is not the first time he was a bad guy. He kind of played an Aryan for a really long time.
How many times did you watch Oz?
I watched Oz a lot.
I mean, it's
That was
this
a good
kid
show.
it's this kid that's being singled out in this class.
Yeah.
He's between a rock and a hard place. He's already really talented, and this guy's making him second guess his talent. And I have a problem with like people in creative spaces who feel like they can abuse people around them because they're creative geniuses, which is like J.K. Simmons' whole MO in this.
Yeah.
I really just don't. That bothers me a lot.
Can I take the counter argument here? As someone who's ridiculously talented, my whole life I've wished for a mentor like that who could push me over that edge into the sun, and I haven't found him yet. So if you're out there, reply in the comments below.
Maybe they haven't seen.
Let's find you that
Potential.
mentor. We should get Josh.
It's buried.
Have any of you guys seen Elephant?
I've not.
This movie's fucking brutal. Just because it's too real. For you that don't know, it's kind of a Columbine movie where it's very much a Columbine movie, but it is very documentary-like. The camera's kind of just
Van Zandt?
yeah. There's a few filmmakers I think that would appear a lot on lists like this. But it's one of those movies where the camera just kind of hangs out and watch the things that are happening very clinically, which just makes it feel that much more real. And then it shows the action of the shooting a few times from a few different perspectives. It hits you in that place where you're like, I'm watching something that it looks like how it might have happened, and it's hard.
How much of the movie is the shooting, and how much is just like the tension build
The main premise is the school shooting.
Yeah, well, that
focal
is the
point?
entire premise.
Yeah.
And it
Okay.
is, was it Klebold and I forgot the other guy's name.
Good.
Yeah,
I don't
they
know
should
their
be
names.
forgotten. But, I think this is a movie, I think this might be 10, 15 years old now, but is modern and comments on things we're going through right now.
Do you remember if
Worth
it was
watching.
like controversial when it came out?
I think it was. not to, I don't want to spoil something about it, but it takes a few things that people said about those shooters that might have been rumors and makes them real.
Yeah.
But it doesn't necessarily give you an explanation of why they did what they did. It's just a day at this school, and then things go wrong, and it shows it a few different times from a few different angles. So the shooting is 20-30% of the movie, maybe. But yeah, just too fucking real.
But it takes place over one day.
Yeah, it's just the one day.
Gotcha.
There's another movie that's too real like that. I can't remember the name of it. The woman that lives in the motel near Disneyland with her kid. Came out last year.
Florida Project?
Florida Project
Yeah.
is too real. It's good.
Yeah.
It's excellent.
Yeah.
But you just feel filthy after watching it. And you're like,
Yeah. I feel like every year the Oscars are always like the best barometer. But there's always like 2 or 3 that are like, yeah, pretty good. But then like the once is enough. Yeah.
So another movie that I think is amazing.
Oh no!
But
no!
It's a horrible downer. And I mean,
for our audio
I should have
listeners.
said something about spoilers up front. This is a trailer for Grave of the Fireflies for the audio listeners.
Yeah.
But this is a beautiful movie.
We're back.
Let me see. A chick Matthew.
Let's get to it. Let's go get these fucking
Put the debts in the deed box and try not to kill them. It's very bad for business.
I just miss
Good
him so
fire
much.
going here, Arthur.
Of course you do.
All right.
Goes without saying. What am I gonna do? You're gonna suffer. And life's gonna go on. That's the truth of it. I won't lie to you. Miss Roberts. I know. Where am I gonna go? Stay here with us. Oh, they ain't so bad. It's nasty out there on your own. I know. You'll be safe here. At least for now. Till you're back on your feet properly. Thank you. Of course. Hi, Strauss.
How are you?
You people want to eat or not?
This crap up. Why are we having a war with the goddamn Philippines? Who cares about the Philippines? What even are the Philippines?